Hey gang, John Baccarelli here with your Lake St. Clair Fishing Report, brought to you by Sportsmen's Direct. It is Wednesday, November 8th, and it's Wednesday night. It's raining out there. It's blowing right now. Water temperature at Belle Isle is 48 degrees, so we're down substantially from what we were at the last report. I think we were like at 54 or something like that, but it's been over a week since we did a report. It's been 2 weeks. But anyways, we have another little cold front coming through this weekend. Saturday and Sunday, temperatures are going to drop a little bit. But here's the good news. The winds are supposed to lay way down. So we should have great conditions this weekend, although a little bit cold, but still not crazy cold. But colder and light winds, and I think it's supposed to be fairly sunny. So we should have great conditions for you guys to get out there and fish. It just should be, for this time of the year, it's just kind of like optimal temperatures. So let's talk about what you might want to be doing out there. Let's say this first too. We've had quite a bit of wind in the last several days and a lot of cloud cover. So as far as I was trying to get some good pictures of the lake, satellite images to look at water clarity, but no, not going to happen. It's just been way too cloudy. Maybe I'll get something in the next couple of days. It looks like it's going to clear up a little bit, and I may be able to get a good satellite image. But even the satellite images have been kind of messed up lately. They've been very inconsistent, and they've changed the website that we go to. But anyways, if we get a good satellite image, I will post it up on our Facebook page, and then you can check it out there. But driving along the lakeshore, it looks like there's a lot of color in the water right now. So actually going over the spillway today, the water coming out of the spillway, and there wasn't any real runoff, even with the rain we've had, but the water coming out of the spillway was cleaner than the water out in the lake in front of the spillway. It was actually, instead of creating a mud line, it was creating a clean line out in front of the spillway. So shoreline's pretty beat up right now. But it doesn't mean that you're not going to be able to catch fish. So let's talk about the fishing itself. There are just a ton of perch have been caught in the last couple of weeks out here. Not just little perch, but big perch. There's been just tons of big perch being caught. And if you've been on social media at all, you've seen just tons of pictures, lots of limits of fish from 10 to 14 and a half inches, not limits of 14 and a half, but generally the cutoff for most of these guys fishing right now is 10 inches, and they're legitimate 10 inches. And then the size of the fish are up to, is the largest fish that I've seen have been like 15 inches with lots of 14s mixed in there. So the perch fishing has just been phenomenal, and it's been up and down the lake from one end to the other, from everywhere from guys catching them from shore over at the Selfridge boat launch to onshore off of Harley, and then out in the main lake, like all over the place. Anywhere from basically out in front of Selfridge all the way down to the yacht club. So there's just almost too many places to name. But if you got a favorite perch spot, whether it's out by the channel or in close to shore, check it out. There could be schools of perch there. 400 Club, out in front of Metro, out in front of Harley, out in front of Coast Guard Station down by 10 Mile, out in front of Ford's Cove, out in front of the Yacht Club, all those spots out there by the dumping grounds and north of the dumping grounds. I mean, they've been catching perch literally everywhere up and down the lake. And if you want to run all the way over to the Bell River Hump, I'm sure there's perch there, but I don't know why you would, other than you get, bigger limit, provided you don't stop on the way back. You can keep that Canadian limit over there. But anyways, perch fishing has been phenomenal. Lots of people also fishing in the canals and marinas around the lake. Like Cody Settler reminds us, now is the time for crappies and gills and all that stuff in the canals too. So if you do get a blow day or you want to get out before the weekend, and it is windy, you can go back into the marinas and the canals and catch just tons of panfish, and there's been a lot of you guys out there doing that as well. Walleye jigging, whether you're up on the north end, St. Clair River, Middle Channel, South Channel, or the Detroit River. the walleye jigging bite has been fantastic. The shore bite has been really good as well. Whether you're casting from shore down here on the main lake, or if you're up in the St. Clair River or down on the Detroit River from shore, the guys have been catching walleyes there as well. Bonus fish, as Jerry Toner shows us this beautiful whitefish caught into the Detroit River. And it wasn't the only whitefish caught this weekend. I know of at least 3 other fish that were caught down there on the Detroit River. These are big, beautiful whitefish. This is their spawning time of the year for you folks that don't know much about whitefish. And if you're like up there by Tawas right now, guys that are hunting up there, a lot of times they'll go and fish up there off the piers and catch whitefish up there. I think it's kind of a growing thing down here now in the Detroit River. There's always been a whitefish run coming out of Lake Erie, but there's not a tremendous number of fish that are caught. And I think a lot of it has to do with there's just not a tremendous number of people fishing. But I also think we're going to see more and more fish going forward because of all the work that they've done with the reefs that they put in the Detroit River for sturgeon habitat. The whitefish are probably going to be using those reefs as well, and maybe we'll see the numbers go up, and that would be really cool to see a lot more of these whitefish in the Detroit River. It's a whole new fishing opportunity if the numbers actually go up. And that would be a fish you'd be able to catch from shore or from boats as well. Although the ones that I know about this weekend, I think were all caught from boats, but there were some beautiful fish caught. The trolling bite down there by the Delphine. A lot of you guys have been waiting for that bite down there to pull bandits and stuff. That bite is going now. So now that we're finally into the 40s, that bite is going. Guys that are fishing down there are catching them trolling bandits and other cranks. And it's going to be kind of a water clarity thing that's, water clarity dependent thing down there. Although a lot of times with, especially running like these dead eyes and stuff with the rattles in them and the bandits, those walleye really can home in on them even when you're fishing in like coffee colored water. And a lot of times all that does is pull these fish up higher in the water column. So that bite is going down there. So if you don't want to jig, you can troll. It's just a great time to be out there on St. Clair. As Mike Coleman shows us again, and actually this picture was of a muskie he got about a week ago, but since I didn't do a report last week, I'm going to put it in here. Just another beast of a muskie caught from shore. What a great fisher we have where you can go out and you can catch muskies from shore here on St. Clair, and they're not small fish. So you can catch quality fish out here on St. Clair just casting from shore. So, I mean, just an amazing fishery we have right now. Now, I am going to talk about the Crocker Road or Clinton River Cutoff boat launch because I did get an update today. And I've been kind of biting my tongue for a couple of days because, well, I had some information and I didn't really quite know how it was going to play out. So I didn't really want to post anything online, but I'm going to give you the scoop as I know it right now. So as of right now, the boat launch is not open. So it is padlocked right now. They did what they call a bathymetric survey of the canal, which is, basically they measured the depth of the water. And it didn't meet the specification that the state supposedly gave the contractor. Now, from what I understand from talking with the contractor was he had 2 basic criteria that he had to stay within. One was he was only allowed to take out X amount of material. He had, I don't know if it was the Corps of Engineers or how it works, but he was only allowed to take out so many cubic meters of material. He took out that much material and then some. So he technically exceeded the amount of material that he was supposed to take out. And with all that material taken out, they did not meet the minimum depth requirement for the canal. So they basically did not pass this bathymetric survey of the canal. So based on that, it is not open. Now, here's the kicker. They didn't find this out until just a couple of days ago. So what I want to know is why in the heck did they wait until a couple of days before the drop dead date for the timing on that boat launch to even do the survey for the depth of the canal. Isn't that like the primary thing that we should be looking at when we're making something like a boat launch? So we have a beautiful parking lot and no boat launch, or no canal that we can use right now. And I haven't seen a plan yet telling us when or if they're going to bring a dredge in there and try to finish the job. So, and we're running out of time because we're in November now, and things are going to start getting much colder and freezing up. And then we run into all kinds of other issues with moving equipment around. So, I think it's time that everybody just starts calling the DNR and just lighten the phones up. I would think that the Chief Ron Olson ought to be getting a bunch of phone calls from people asking questions like, why in the heck are we still talking about this? Why are we still talking about the Clinton River cutoff boat launch? There's absolutely no reason that we should be in this position right now. And it should definitely not be in a finger-pointing session right now between the state and the contractor. And I'm not making excuses for the contractor on this either. But there is this thing called management. And when you have a program like this, you're supposed to be managing what's going on down there. You don't just let the contractor run roughshod. And you sure as heck shouldn't be waiting until the last days of a project to go in there and measure something of critical importance like the depth of the canal. Why would you allow them to move the equipment off-site that does the dredging until you verify that the canal is deep enough to get boats through? This is just absolutely ludicrous. So, anyways, I encourage everybody to reach out to the state and tell them how happy we are with how the cutoff, Clinton River cutoff or Crocker Road boat launch has turned out. So, the other thing is, my other concern now is that they're going to use this as an excuse to keep that park closed for the wintertime when we need to get in there and use it for ice fishing access. So, and I haven't heard anything about that either. So, they've got some questions to answer here, and they need to be answered in pretty short order. But this is ridiculous. I'm fed up. A lot of you are fed up. You call the store all the time asking for updates. Like I said, I've had to really bite my tongue the last couple of days. But anyways, so that's the scoop. As of right now, that's the latest correspondence that I've seen, is that it is not open because the canal has not been dredged deep enough, according to the specifications. And that's where we are. So, if I get more information, I'll be sure to let you know. But as of right now, it's closed. It is not open. So anyways, with all of that, we got great fishing ahead of us this weekend. Great weather. Get out there if you can. Enjoy it. You're going to have to launch from either Metro or Harley. Get out there, get some of those fish while we still can before it gets really cold and it's not so fun to be out there. You have a good one. We'll see you at the store this weekend. Hey gang, if you like our content, hit the little subscribe button and the bell icon and you'll be notified as soon as we put out new stuff.